Y'all remember last week when I told y'all that I paid $285 towards my car balance and it only went down $38? Y'all know I had to call them to find out what's going on. And by call, I mean send a message. So basically, they did respond. And basically, they said they're going to pay themselves before they pay anything on my car. That's what they said. I mean, that's not what they actually said. That's my paraphrase, but I'll read you what they actually said. But as of today, the countdown is on. We have 142 days until the end of 2024 when I want to walk into 2025 debt free. So I got my notes here. We are going to get into it. But first, I want to let you guys know that I am sharing this journey for all the regular people in the back. Y'all, we are regular people. I didn't come from money. I don't make a lot of money. I'm just a regular person with a regular job making a regular salary, y'all. So I work as an educational sign language interpreter, and as of the 24-25 school year, my salary went up a little bit. It went up a smidge. So now I earn $39,526.62 for the 24-25 school year. And so if you're in education, you know that we work for 10 months. And so we have 2 months that we're not paid for, but they spread it out over 12 months. So it might seem like my paycheck should be a little higher than it is when I get it, because I'm going to start doing those paycheck breakdowns and things like that once we get paid. We don't get paid till the end of August, but they spread it out over 12 months. So my checks aren't going to be as great as you may think. So anyway, let's get into it. Last week I owed 10,000, maybe not last week, but maybe it's 2 weeks ago now. So I owe $10,836. I'm going to leave the change off. We're just going to deal with the dollars. So $10,836. So I had gotten my tax refund payment, and I got it in 2 separate payments. I don't know why, but I got it in 2 separate payments. So one day I got one day I got I don't know how much it was exactly, but I paid on one day $160 towards my car, and then a couple days later I paid $125 towards my car. So what happened was, I'm thinking, oh, I paid $285 for this car loan. It should be down to $10,551. I was like going into the weekend thinking, I was moving along. Lo and behold, when I went back and checked, it was only down $38. So I was like, well, what is going on? It was so tragic. It was such a tragic, revelation. So of course, I messaged them. And I asked them, how do you allocate the money? Because so last week, everybody was like, I don't know if people didn't watch till the end before they commented or whatever, and I can understand why it seems like I didn't ask them to apply it to the finance charges, because it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about all the time. But you guys, there's 2 boxes. One says pay towards the principal, and one says pay towards a future payment. Of course, I picked the one that says pay towards the principal because I thought that since I didn't have another payment due until September 13th, that anything I pay before September 13th would be applied to the balance. Well, honey, Ally Financial said that's not how we do things over here. They said, I don't know what you normally do or what you used to, but that's not how we do things over here. And the way that Ally Financial talks about finance charges versus interest, it is different. They categorize them differently and they utilize them differently. So according to Ally, interest charges accrue when I pay late. So if I pay late, they charge me interest for every day that it's late. I won't get a late fee until after 10 days, but every day that it's late, not only am I getting charged finance charges, but I'm also getting charged interest. So if anybody from Ally Financial watching and you want to correct me, feel free. So this is their message. I need some coffee for this. I got my notes over here in case y'all didn't know. In case you knew here, I always got my notes. All right. So this is what they said. They said, hello. Thank you for your message. In accordance with our contracts, Ally Servicing will apply funds to unpaid finance charges first, and then the outstanding balance of the amount financed. They're going to get theirs first. That's what that means. Each time we receive a payment from you, we calculate and collect finance charges only for the period from the last payment, which reduced your amount financed up to the day we received the payment. I think that's a lot of words to say that every day that I don't pay, they're charging me because they're holding my loan. We do not collect any future finance charges. Any amount you send in excess of the finance charges due for the period is automatically applied to the amount financed. Some customers think of this as the principal balance. Some customers, we all think of that because it literally says that, pay towards the principal balance. The whole amount of $160 paid on July 30th was applied to your finance charges. All of it. So I saw no movement. If I walked away and never made another payment that week, it would have stayed exactly the same. While from the payment of $125 received on August 1st, the $37.61 was credited to your principal balance, and the remaining $87.39 towards your finance charge. After your payments of $160 and $125, your outstanding balance reduced from $10,836.55 to $10,798.94. Sincerely, Ally. So they said all that to say, ain't nothing you can do about it except pay off that car today. That's the only way I'm not paying extra. And so what's interesting to me, and what I didn't realize, they're not showing me what the finance charges are. I've looked everywhere and I can't see a breakdown of every day I'm getting charged this percentage or anything like that. It seems like they don't calculate it until I make a payment, but even then they're not I don't see that on the site where it says $87 went to finance charges and $37 went to the balance. And so it's almost like if I go and pay $10 today, I probably won't see any movement, right? So remember at the beginning of the summer, at the beginning of the summer, I worked some extracurricular. I had my spring activities check. I had worked summer school, different things like that. And so from certain payments that I received, I put away $600 from, I think I put away $600 from my spring activities check to pay for my 100,000 mile tune-up on my car, and then I put away $600 just to have extra if something were to go wrong with my car and I'm not totally dipping into all of my emergency funds. So I had $1,200 set aside on top of my emergency fund. And so I went ahead and got my car, the tune-up for 100,000 miles. I went ahead and got that done. And so last week I was like, I want to make movement on this payment every week. Somehow, somewhere, I feel like I want to make some movement. Now this week I don't know what I'll be able to do because I don't think I'm expecting any money I might be expecting money. What's today? The 11th? I might get paid from band camp. I did do work band camp and I haven't gotten paid from that yet, so that would be great if I got that. But anyhow, last week, so leading up to today, I took a portion of the money that I had put aside, the second $600 that I put aside, and I just made a full car payment. I made a full car payment, and it's so funny because it's not even as exciting anymore because I know that this much will go towards the balance, but I went ahead and made a full car payment. I think my car payments are $300 $354 and some change. I just rounded up, I paid $355. And so I just made a full car payment, $355, and my balance actually went down. It actually went down. So as of today, my balance has gone down from $10,798 to $10,477, which means $321 of that went towards the actual balance. So we are moving forward. Like, it's going to be so exciting to get that down under $10,000. Like when I get into like the single digits, I mean, you know, from 10 to 9, like the 9,000, 8,000, like that's going to be super exciting. It's like 10,000 sounds like so much more than 9,000. So yeah, so we've gotten some movement. Hopefully I get paid this week. Technically we don't get paid from work until the end of August, but I still have some, and I don't know, like, because they didn't even put in my timesheet. So even though I submitted my timesheet right away, my supervisor, who has to sign off on it, like it has to go through a few people, she didn't even sign off on it until like Monday of this week, of like this past week. And so I'm not sure if I'll get paid like on the 15th like I normally would, or if they're just going to hold it until the end of the month. Like they never pay like on off days. They never pay on like the 5th or the 8th or anything like that. It's always like the 15th and the 30th, 31st, whatever the end of the month is, because we just get paid twice a month. So anyhow, let's move on. So moving on from that. So now, since my car payment debt relief is on the horizon, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, I now have to think about what I'm going to do next, right? And so after the debt snowball, which I never really had a snowball, I think I just threw snowballs. Like my debt never really snowballed because all the amounts that I owed were small enough to where I could just pay them in a chunk, so there was never like a debt snowball. So, but after I pay off this debt, the next step in the Total Money Makeover is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. So I do have to figure out what my 3 to 6 months of expenses are. I kind of want to do a year of expenses, but I'm just going to follow the plan. I'm going to do 6 months. I think I'm going to do 6 months of expenses, which would be really inexpensive because I won't have any debt. So it'll be just like my rent, my car insurance, like different things like that. It shouldn't be super expensive or anything to save up 6 months of expenses. So after that, after I save up 6 months of expenses, I believe the next 2 steps are like save for your kids' college fund. And then, so that's step 4. And I think step 5 has to do with paying off your mortgage or something like that. Either way, I don't have any one of those things. I don't have kids to save college fund for, and I don't have a mortgage at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat those 2 steps like one thing. And I want to start putting away money because I mentioned at the beginning of this journey that I wanted to do some real estate investment. Like I would love to own a duplex or a triplex. I don't think I want to get into like a whole apartment building, but a duplex or a triplex, something that where I can have tenants and things like that. I've gotten a lot of different like opinions about it. People have different opinions about it, and I get it. My friend, who's a real estate agent, she has had tenants before, and she talks about the good and the bad of it. But ultimately, she made money, and so I kind of want to do something where I am making like a passive income, like something that I'm not getting up at 6 every day, having to drive somewhere and clock. We don't clock in, but they clock in you. Trust. They clock in me. But so another thing is that I had paid off a credit card. I had a credit card. I had a Capital One credit card, and I paid it off and I canceled it. And when I paid it off and canceled it, people were like, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that because you're going to need credit later on down the road. I agree. I just didn't feel like I was the kind of person who could really handle credit responsibly. That just, or at least I have never handled credit responsibly in the past. And so I knew that, right? And so growing up, the only perspective that I had related to credit cards was that you use credit cards if you didn't have the money to buy things that you needed or wanted. And you could use your credit card and then you could make payments towards it later. That is the only perspective that I had. That's how people talked about credit cards. People in my purview, like, I don't have the money now, so I'm just going to put it on my credit card. Or I'm going to go to Rent-A-Center, like things like that. It was like, I don't have the money now, so I'm going to do this and then hope later I have the money so that I can pay it off. That's been my only perspective about credit cards. And so that's why I was eager to get rid of credit cards. I was like, there's no way, like, because I'm not going to put myself in a bind by trying to buy something on credit. And then, like, if I don't have the money now, what makes me think I'm going to have the money later, you know? And so anyhow, I am subscribed to and have been watching a channel by a gentleman. His name is Prosper G. That's his YouTube handle, Prosper G, G-E-E. I'll put it in the description, but he does videos about finance, personal finance. He had gone into bankruptcy, and then, like, this is his journey, how he's recovering from that, basically. And so a couple weeks ago, he did a video. It was a great video about how to kind of recover from bankruptcy in a year. I don't know if that's the name of the video, but I'll put it in the description. But he did a great video about that. So I was just watching it because he watches my channel. And so I was watching it, you know, I'm supporting or whatever, even though in my head, I'm like, I'm not getting no credit cards or whatever. But he gave a completely different perspective on credit cards, on using credit cards. And one of the things he talked about, like, he showed a bunch of credit cards that he used. Some of them you pay ahead, and then like, you put like a payment on it, like a $200 or $250, and then you use that, and then you pay. So basically you're using your own money and you're just paying yourself back, but they're reporting it to credit agencies. But one of the things he was saying was that, so like, I put aside money for groceries and gas anyway, right? I have the money. It's like $150 for groceries and $80 for gas. I have that anyway. And so what he was saying was, now y'all might think this is duh, like, but I never thought of this. I never had this perspective before. But he was saying, well, since you put money away for those things anyway, just use your credit card to purchase your groceries or purchase your gas. I don't know what examples he used, but this is how I applied it to my own situation. Just use your credit card for groceries and gas, and because you have the money, just pay it off in a couple days anyway. Like, have y'all thought of that? Like, I never looked at it from that perspective before. Like I just never looked at it from that perspective. The only perspective I had was that people use credit cards because they don't have the money. When in actuality, I could use credit for my groceries and my gas and just pay it off like every weekend, or just pay it off every couple days. Because for me to be able to invest in real estate, I'm going to need some type of credit history. Like, right now I have my car, but even when it's paid off at the end of the year, like, I won't have anything else, like, going forward, because I plan on saving money for a car, saving money to put down on real estate and things like that. And so I do need to build some kind of credit. So before I watched that video, I had gotten a Kohl's credit card, but the only reason I got it, and I don't even know if they use that or if they care about that kind of credit, but the only reason I got the credit card was because I was able to get this $39 dress or $36 dress for $1.72. I had no intention of using the credit card. But now that I, like, know, like, if I put money aside, like, for example, if I have fun money and I put something aside and I want to buy a top or something like that, I can go to Kohl's, use the credit card, buy the top, and then just pay it off. As soon as it shows up on the statement, just pay it off. You guys, so I am learning a lot about finances and how things work, how credit works. You guys have been very helpful. I got a lot of experts in the comments and everything, which I love. I love it. But anyhow, that is that for today. I kept it short and sweet for today. And so if you have questions, I have not yet scheduled my live yet. I've seen some people recently go live say that like YouTube changed it to where you can't do it in landscape anymore. It has to be like vertical. And I don't like that, because even if you put like a thumbnail on it, if people are scrolling on their phones and they come across your live, it's just whatever thumbnail YouTube grabbed from your video, and it'll be like you'll be looking crazy. I see so many people looking so crazy, like having gone live, because it's not like, I don't know why they did that. But then I was watching this other video where this man was like, oh yeah, you have to go into the settings and do all this, so it can be landscape, but you have to do it before you hit record or whatever, or hit live or something like that. So anyhow, I'm still working on the day. I think I'm going to end up making it a Saturday morning coffee chat. And that's what got the most votes, as far as, because I think I asked people if they wanted to do it Sunday in the evening instead of my normal video, Wednesday evening kind of instead of that vlog video, or Saturday morning coffee chat, and most people decided coffee chat. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a Saturday morning. I just have to plan it. Yesterday I had the opportunity to be in an all-day Think Media YouTube. It was 8 hours of YouTube training. 8 hours of YouTube training. And I applied to be one of their hot seat interviewees, where they bring you on and they analyze your YouTube channel. So I might insert a little clip here at the end, just as the outro. But yes, I did actually pay for the VIP session. It was $97. So after the entire thing was, and I was able to apply to be one of their hot seat people, because I paid to be like one of the VIP, and so I applied. It was me and another girl. I don't know if they're going to put it on the regular YouTube, on their YouTube channel. I'm not sure, but the people that were there was able to see us live. So they go into my YouTube channel and they talk about like what's right, what's wrong, and different things like that. So that was exciting. I ferociously took notes. I was taking notes the whole time. So I was on camera with one of the Think Media staff named Sam, and he was analyzing my channel and things like that. And I know there are people that watch me who have YouTube channels, and we've connected because we have YouTube channels. And Think Media and Think Media Podcast is just a great resource to have. Like every week I try to like tweak something to just improve. Their whole strategy is improved by 1% each video, so I try to do that. So I'll insert a little clip here so you guys can kind of see like me on the hot seat. And then yeah, and then I'll just see you guys next week.
Into the video. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Any follow-up questions or any other thoughts as we're having this conversation?
Yeah, I think the hardest part for me is going to be the cleaning up the thumbnails, honestly. I don't know. I like the mess, but I think I could be more clear, but I honestly get more clicks on the ones that are like the most, I don't know.
I would say start with little things. Things like these words that are in, they're like a script font. It says weekly vlog, and I can read it, but I also have my screen kind of blown up right now.
Okay.
I don't know that you necessarily need to say that on the thumbnail, because I get that this feels like a blog from just the imagery.
Okay.